Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me here on the Sicilian Witch. My name is Alicia Ray, and I would like to invite you to lighten up with me a little bit today. I like to have a practice of gratitude, and so I think I'll start this off sharing my gratitude for a couple of things. Firstly, if you're visiting my channel here from Corey's channel at the Phoenix Enigma, I want to thank you for taking the time to come over here and see my first video and see what I have to say and just participating with me. I also want to thank you for all of the support that you give to Corey at his channel, for the thumbs up, the likes, and the great attitudes in the live chat room, for those of you that participate in the Patreon community, and for all the shares that you guys give his videos out on your social media, and especially for your efforts in everything you guys are doing to try and wake up the people around you. I'm proud of you, and I'm thankful for the community that you guys bring there at the Phoenix Enigma. I'm also want to say thank you to you guys for being supportive to me and welcoming me a couple months ago when I joined Corey on his channel, and for making it fun. We have a lot of fun in the live chat room, and I appreciate the kind way that you guys take care of each other in there, and how you teach each other, and are respectful of everybody's different views and opinions, even though sometimes it's kind of tough in there. You guys do a great job in there, and because of you guys, we have, like you guys say, I think the best chat community on YouTube right now, and I'm proud of you, and I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for Corey giving me the courage and the example to sit down and sit in front of a camera and say the things that I want to say and talk about my life's work and my practice and share it with you. It's a little nerve-wracking for me, and I'll be honest, this is very out of my element, so give me a couple of videos to get it under my belt and smooth out the rough spots. Anyway, but I am really thankful to Corey for encouraging me and letting me know that I have something to say, and that it's that I can create something nice here for all of you. That means a lot to me. Thanks, Corey. I love you. So this morning, while I was on my walk with Opal, we came across a scene on the sidewalk that was really darling. Some little kids had drawn on the sidewalk. There was a sun with his sunglasses and a jellyfish and a girl with her earrings, and one of the little girls had written her name across the top of this little girl's face. So I think Christina is the artist here on the sidewalk, and she draws a little heart and says, "Be safe." So everybody passing by on the sidewalk alongside the canal there gets a little love note from a little girl named Christina. Opal and I had to stop and take a picture of that. As we were almost home, we came across a family of ducks, and I know that springtime and the ducklings being out, I haven't been along the canal in a while, and it was really fun to see the baby ducks, and Opal thought they looked mighty tasty. But she didn't jump in, and I didn't have to go after her, and the little ducks had a nice morning without Opal's chompers on their feathers. But I had to share a picture with you of them, because they were so cute. So I found a I found a website this morning called Sunny Skies, Skies with a Z, sunnyskies.com, and they have all good news articles on here, and I picked a couple to share with you. This one here is about a teacher she's a first grade teacher, and her name is Katie, and she is holding virtual story time for her students. and their classmates during quarantine time. And everybody, all the little kids get online with her, and she reads them a story. And then all the kids get to chat together and spend some time together online. And she does it because she thinks it's really important. A lot of them don't understand what's going on right now, and they have a whole bunch of different kinds of feelings and emotions about being in quarantine and out of school and their schedule disrupted. And so she's trying to make it a little easier. I'll show you the picture here. She also sits on the end of her driveway and reads to the neighborhood kids as well, while their parents are away at work. And I think that's really sweet. It's tough in a time of social distancing and no contact and quarantine for the kids, and she gives them a little personal touch to make their day a little brighter and for things to feel a little more stable and comfortable and safe. And I thought that was really tender story. One of the girls, one of her students' mothers wrote to her and said that her teacher came over and hung out for a bit, and they chatted and read books, and this was 5 kids at home still, and she sat in my driveway for an hour to make sure that Hannah was okay. And the mom really appreciated the teacher taking the personal time with all the things that she used to do with her classroom and her own kids to spend a little extra time and keep an eye on her own, her daughter too. I have another story here. In a town of excuse me, in the town of Earlham, Iowa, there has been an anonymous benefactor to all the residents of the town, providing $150 worth of gift cards for food because the town came on such hard times with this quarantine and the closing of businesses. Nobody knows who the benefactor is, but the benefactor provided $150 worth of groceries to 549 gift cards, totaling about $82,000. When it kind of came at the end of a really hard week for this town, and one of the recipients said, "I remember going home and walking through the front door, and I couldn't speak for a minute. I was just crying like a baby, and my little boy saw me and wrapped around my leg and said, 'Daddy, what's wrong?' And eventually I was able to choke it out. Right now, buddy, for once, nothing's wrong." Another person who was a recipient said, "You couldn't even believe what was happening. You were so grateful you started to cry. You couldn't believe that people would actually want to help you in such a huge way that you can't even fathom that kind of help. It just gave us hope." Nobody has a lot to smile about the last few weeks, and this is definitely something to smile about. There's a lot of families that $150 isn't going to be a game changer, but it's still something to make you feel good that there's good people in the world and that are doing good things. It gives you some hope. Hope is a really tough commodity to hold on to right now, with jobs closing and being in quarantine and all of the social distancing and the uncertainty of, what's happening with our government and the uncertainty of what's happening with our banks and finances. And it's really great to see somebody do something completely entirely anonymous so that other people can have a little less burden. Another teachers are busy right now because they're not in class, it seems. So this teacher is Zane Powles, who works in Western Primary School in Grimsby. This is in in Lincolnshire, England, and he's packing sandwiches and lunches and putting them in bags and walking about 5 miles a day to get them all delivered to the kids that he is teaching. And he does this because he doesn't want the kids to feel alone and isolated while their parents are working, and he wants to make sure that because their school is providing their midday meal that they're still getting it. And he's doing this out of his own pocket. Again, another Corona hero. And now I have a couple of really neat stories by a couple of kids. This young man, TJ Kim, lives in Bethesda, Maryland, and he is 16 years old. And even though he doesn't have a driver's license, he does have his pilot's license. And he has been delivering supplies to hospitals that are way out of the way. He most recently delivered 3,000 gloves, 1,000 head covers, 500 shoe covers, 50 non-surgical masks, 20 pairs of protective eyewear, and 10 concentrated bottles of hand sanitizer to help supply a hospital in Woodstock. His goal is to make deliveries to all the 7 rural hospitals there in Virginia, since they are denied access, in Virginia, because they're defined as critical access hospitals, but they're rural and out of the way. So, and lastly, we have a Boy Scout here. He's a Canadian Boy Scout, and he is using some of his skills to alleviate some of the pressure on healthcare workers. He's come up with a nifty little gadget and that he's printing on his 3D printer at home, and they're ear guards, and they connect to the straps on a medical face mask to relieve the chafing behind the ears of the medical workers. You can see how that fits here in this picture. Quinn is a smart kid and has used some of his talents and skills to do a little bit of good for somebody else, a kid taking care of a grown-up taking care of everybody else. And we have another Corona hero. What can we do, each of us in our own neighborhood around us, to brighten up somebody's day? I know I received a package recently from one of our viewers, and it was an awesome package, and it really brightened up our day here. We had a cookbook and some wonderful products in there, and all handmade by her. And I'm going to invite her on here in a couple of weeks, and we're going to do a little program so you can see what she does and get to know her and her passion for healing as well. So I'll save that for another day. If you would like to contribute to my Lighten Up series, I think I'm going to try and do these once or twice a week, the Lighten Up series, and bring some positive news of other people doing good things out there in the world despite the coronavirus and despite the quarantine and despite all the icky, heavy, ugly feelings that are going on out there, because I think it makes us all feel better to see people doing good for other people. If you want to contribute to that, and you have stories, if you have personal stories, or if you found stories in the news and you want to send them to me, please do. Please send them to AliciaRay@thesicilianwitch.com. I would love to include those in my next Lighten Up broadcast. Thanks for being here with me, and have a really great afternoon. See you later.